Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live a life of absolute luxury, where money is no object and you can have anything you desire? In today's video, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the opulent lifestyle of Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, the ruler of the tiny but immensely wealthy nation of Brunei. From his sprawling golden domed palace that exceeds the size of the Vatican City to his legendary car collection with over 7,000 luxury vehicles, the Sultan of Brunei enjoys a lifestyle of unmatched extravagance. His enormous wealth comes from Brunei's abundant oil and gas reserves, making him one of Earth's richest people. But beyond the jaw-dropping displays of wealth, the Sultan rules Brunei with an iron fist. He has imposed strict Islamic laws that have been condemned by human rights groups. Nevertheless, many in Brunei revere him as a symbol of the nation's prosperity and independence. So how did the Sultan build his tremendous fortune? And what exactly does he spend it on? How is he viewed both inside Brunei and internationally? Let's find out in this lavish look at the lifestyle of Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, the Sultan of Bling. The Sultan's background. Born on July 15, 1946, Hassanal Bolkiah was the son of Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin IV, who had multiple wives and 10 children. Groomed from a very young age to become the next sultan, Hassanal received an education focused on topics like history, religion, and jurisprudence to prepare him for leadership. He was privately tutored within the palace before being sent overseas for schooling at the Victoria Institution in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This gave him exposure to a broader world outside Brunei. After completing his primary education in Malaysia, Hassanal continued his studies in the United Kingdom, attending the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. The academy has a long history of educating royalty and elite figures. Undergoing military training in the UK helped bolster Hassanal's credentials as a leader while allowing him to immerse himself in British culture. Having been educated abroad in both Malaysia and England, Hassanal returned to Brunei fluent in several languages including English and Malay. Throughout his youth and studies overseas, Hassanal was constantly aware of his destiny to someday ascend to the throne as the next Sultan of Brunei. His father Omar Ali Saifuddin IV oversaw his education closely, ensuring he received the preparation needed to take the reins of power. Hassanal shadowed his father at state events, gaining first-hand experience observing his duties and responsibilities as ruler. Finally, in 1967, after nearly 3 decades as Sultan, Omar Ali Saifuddin IV decided to abdicate and pass the throne to his eldest son Hassanal. Crowned on August 1, 1968, at the age of just 21, Hassanal became the 29th Sultan of Brunei, one of the youngest modern monarchs in the world at that time. His elaborate 3-day coronation ceremony cost over $20 million, sparing no expense as a display of Brunei's wealth and power. Hassanal inherited the throne at a fortuitous time. Brunei was just beginning to prosper from substantial oil and gas deposits discovered after WDLI. With vision and ambition, the young new Sultan would have the opportunity to transform Brunei's fortunes and build one of the world's largest personal fortunes. Building his fortune. Bolstered by Brunei's steadily growing oil exports and production, the Sultan established stronger foundations for the country's economic prosperity. In 1967, he pushed through an agreement unifying Brunei's internal affairs and defense with the United Kingdom. This secured British military protection and tacit approval of his rule, while Brunei remained self-governing in most affairs. The Sultan established the Brunei Investment Agency to manage the country's newfound oil wealth through overseas investments. Wisely avoiding squandering the money, he built up a sovereign wealth fund stretching into the billions. Seeing how economic over-reliance on oil had caused volatility in nearby OPEC countries, Hassanal promoted economic diversification early on by investing resource revenues abroad in sectors like real estate and banking. However, oil and gas exports continued driving most of Brunei's economy. In the mid-1980s, with oil prices at record highs, Brunei flourished. Its GDP per capita became one of the highest in the world. By the 1990s, Forbes and Fortune magazines estimated Hassanal Bolkiah's net worth at over $40 billion, naming him the world's richest monarch. Exact figures remain vague, But there is no disputing the Sultan became fabulously wealthy from Brunei's oil bonanza. While criticisms emerged over the unequal distribution of wealth in Brunei, particularly between the royal family and ordinary citizens, the Sultan nonetheless successfully grew Brunei's prosperity for decades. His investment strategies buffered the country against oil price shocks, and he instituted free healthcare, education, and subsidies that brought upward mobility for many. So while far from perfect, the Sultan did take measures to share the benefits of Brunei's energy windfall. Luxury homes and palaces. Now let's look at some of the most opulent ways that the Sultan has spent his colossal fortune over the years. Beginning with his luxury homes and palaces. His primary residence is the sprawling 1,800-room Istana Nurul Iman Palace in Brunei's capital. With a floor area of over 2.1 million square feet, it holds the Guinness World Record as the largest palace in the world. The palace has 257 bathrooms, 5 swimming pools, an 800-car garage, air-conditioned stables for 200 polo ponies, and 1,500 chandeliers. Its main dome is covered in 40 kilograms of 22-karat gold. In addition to the palace, Hassanal owns an 11-acre estate in Las Vegas worth $38 million. He also owns a luxury hotel and residence near Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles valued at $110 million. Another lavish overseas property is the St. John's Lodge estate in London, spanning 50 acres. His astounding car collection. Now let's take a look at the Sultan's world-famous car collection, which consists of over 7,000 luxury vehicles spread across multiple garages and showrooms. He owns over 600 Rolls-Royces, more than any other individual in the world. His collection includes 450 Ferraris, 382 Bentleys, 185 BMWs, 177 Jaguars, 160 Porsches, and 130 Mercedes. Some of his most valuable cars include 6 custom-made Rolls-Royce Phantoms with 24-karat gold trim estimated to be worth over $14 million each. He owns several extremely rare Ferrari sports cars such as the Ferrari FX, Ferrari 333 SP, and the rainbow-colored Ferrari F40. One of his most iconic cars is a custom Rolls-Royce Silver Spur limousine coated in 24-karat gold. In total, the Sultan's car collection is believed to be worth over $5 billion. His private jets and travel. Moving on to the Sultan's air travel. His custom private jets are a reflection of the sheer extravagance that surrounds him. His main private jet is a Boeing 747-400 jumbo jet, nicknamed the Flying Palace. The interior is outfitted with luxurious facilities like a living room, bedroom, and in-flight shower. Many surfaces are accentuated with gold trim. He also owns a Boeing 767-200, Airbus A340-200, and Bombardier business jet for shorter trips. For state visits and diplomatic travel, he has access to a Royal Brunei Airlines Airbus A320 and Boeing 787 Dreamliner. His fleet of helicopters includes 4 Sikorsky S-70s and 3 Airbus AS-332 Super Pumas. Beyond cars and jets, the Sultan maintains an active lifestyle with frequent trips overseas for both business and pleasure. But wherever he goes, luxury and extravagance follow him like a permanent aura. Lavish parties and weddings. When it comes to celebrating special occasions, the Sultan spares absolutely no expense in putting together lavish parties and weddings. For his 50th birthday party in 1996, he flew in Michael Jackson for a private concert and spent over $17 million. In 2005, his 3-day wedding reception for Prince Abdulmalik cost an estimated $20 million, with custom-built air-conditioned pavilions to accommodate over 3,000 guests. In 2015, the week-long festivities for his daughter Princess Azima's wedding included custom decorations flown in from Paris and cost over $15 million. The most opulent royal wedding was his eldest son Al-Matadi Billah in 2004, which spanned 2 weeks across 5 venues and cost up to $20 million. No matter the occasion, the Sultan consistently holds celebrations of astonishing scale as displays of wealth and royalty. Based on his lavish track record, There is no doubt that the coronation of the next sultan will be a spectacle beyond our wildest imaginations. His jewelry and watch collections. Moving on to the sultan's jewelry and watch collections, which contain some of the rarest and most valuable pieces in the world. He owns a collection of custom-made diamond watches created by jewelry house Jacob & Co. These include the Jacob & Co. Epic X Chrono, valued at $5 million, and the History of Time V that contains over 700 diamonds and is worth $6 million. One of his most iconic pieces is a Frank Muller Aeternitas Mega 4 watch encrusted with 1,000 diamonds and 600 rubies, estimated to cost over $23 million. For formal occasions, the Sultan wears bespoke necklaces, cufflinks, and ceremonial daggers decorated with gold, diamonds, and other gems. His jewelry collection is so vast, it has been described as making the British crown jewels look insignificant in comparison. In total, he is believed to own jewelry valued at over $3.5 billion. The Sultan has a penchant for diamonds, rubies, and other precious stones. Let me know in the comments what you think is the most impressive piece in his jewelry collection. His lifetime achievements and awards. Given his tremendous wealth and status, the Sultan has been recognized through numerous honors and accolades over the years. He has been awarded 9 royal honorary doctorate degrees in various fields. In 1987, he received the Most Esteemed Royal Family Order, the highest civilian award in Brunei, from his father. Queen Elizabeth II knighted him as an honorary Knight Grand Cross in 1992. He is the Chancellor of the National University of Brunei Darussalam and the University of Brunei Darussalam. The Sultan received the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award at the Asian Awards in 2016 for his contributions to leading Brunei. Despite criticisms of his lavish lifestyle and authoritarian rule, the Sultan is still broadly revered domestically. Beyond direct honors, in addition to directly receiving prestigious awards and honors himself, the Sultan has had landmarks, streets, and buildings named after him. The Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah Highway is a 12-lane mega highway in Brunei stretching over 25 miles. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah Stadium is the national stadium of Brunei used by the Brunei national football team. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah Airport, the main international airport in Brunei, was named after him in 2013. Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Masjid, located in Cotabato City in the Philippines, is one of the largest mosques in the country. Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Foundation Building at the University of Oxford was named in recognition of his philanthropic contributions. With over 50 years as Brunei's supreme ruler, the Sultan has cemented his legacy and status through these honors and name dedications across Brunei and beyond. Criticisms and controversies. However, the Sultan's lavish lifestyle and rigid rule have also sparked controversies and criticism both within Brunei and internationally. In 2014, he initiated Islamic Sharia law in Brunei, punishing offenses like adultery and homosexuality with death by stoning. This drew global condemnation from human rights groups. Celebrity figures like Elton John and Ellen DeGeneres have advocated boycotting the Sultan's hotel properties in Beverly Hills due to Brunei's anti-LGBT laws. Many citizens struggle with poverty and lack of opportunity despite Brunei's immense oil wealth controlled by the royal family. This has caused some dissent within the populace. Due to his authoritarian grip on power and strict laws limiting dissent, Brunei has been criticized for suppressing freedom of speech and the press. The Sultan reportedly spends lavishly on himself, while providing limited public services and social support for the population compared to Brunei's prosperity. So while many in Brunei revere the Sultan, his harsh policies, consolidation of power, and lavish lifestyle also raise issues. But his position at the top remains firm. Question: what do you think of how the Sultan rules Brunei? Does his lavish lifestyle seem justified? Share your thoughts below. The Sultan's legacy. As the Sultan now enters his late 70s, many are curious how the future leadership of Brunei will shape up after his long reign comes to an end. What will be the legacy of Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah? On the one hand, he will be remembered for leading Brunei to its peak of wealth and opulence, presiding over its golden era as a global energy powerhouse. He has become an iconic symbol of luxury. But he will also be seen as an authoritarian ruler who consolidated power and cracked down on dissent, and someone who lived a life of decadent excess as citizens struggled. The Sultan's eventual successor will have incredibly large shoes to fill, and they will likely take the throne at a crucial time for Brunei's future, as its oil production inevitably declines. One thing is for sure, the world will be eagerly watching to see if Brunei's next generation maintains this level of wealth, luxury, and extravagance set by the legendary Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah. Conclusion. So in summary, through his supreme position and Brunei's vast oil wealth, Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah has lived an extraordinarily opulent lifestyle full of luxury homes, planes, cars, and jewels beyond imagination. He rules with absolute authority, but also faces criticisms for extravagance and human rights issues. While only time will tell what's next for Brunei after his reign ends, the Sultan has undoubtedly carved his mark as one of the most wealthy rulers in human history. Thanks for watching this lavish look at his lifestyle of pure luxury. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.